Hello everybody, and thanks for checking out my review. Today I'll be reviewing the Seiko SKZ255-K1. It's a Seiko diver, and it comes standard with the usual blue box with the white sleeve. And as you can see, it's a very unique looking watch. It comes on the leatherette style pillow, and the simple instruction manual is inside. Along with the Seiko instruction manual and the warranty card and the basic instructions. And this is, like I said, a definite unique design on this Seiko. Now, the first thing I'm going to show you right off the bat, because I just did charge it, is the lume. Seiko uses a very bright paint that actually rivals those of Timex or a Casio type of a watch. And I'll turn off the lights here, and you can get an idea on the brightness of the lume. And just to give you an example, here's a regular Casio watch and the light on this, and that one is battery operated. Now, as far as the watch itself, there are two versions of this watch. It's the SKZ255-K1 or the J1. The J1 comes stamped in one of the small portions here with the made in Japan. This one is not that version. I believe, to my understanding from research that I did, that all of them are made in the same factory. It's a 47mm diameter case, 13mm thick. Like I said, it's definitely a unique looking design. It's a screw back on the back there. It's pretty much all stainless steel band with PVD. The only thing that I do not like about the PVD is the wear. If you notice, there's a little bit of rubbing on the band itself on the links, but that does not affect the actual look or style of the watch. It's just a minor complaint that people have shown. It's a push button fold over clasp, nice solid steel. It's got the diver extension, and it's also got the micro adjustment, so this way if you're somewhere in between on the links, you could set it directly to the size of your wrist. Now, this is known affectionately to watch collectors, particularly those of Seiko, as the Franken Monster or the Franken Tuna, because if you look at the Monster series or the Tuna designs that Seiko put out there, it's got a similar look to that, but it's got the big bolt on the side there. It's got a very smooth rotating bezel, very precise. And as you notice, the second hand sweeps. That's because this is an automatic. Underneath the back of the screw back, there is a mechanism that rotates, and it rotates with the movement of your wrist. So there's no need to wind the watch automatically winds for you. There's no battery needed or installed in this watch, and that's where you get the sweeping design of the second hand. The only downfall to these is if you're not wearing the watch for a couple of days, you do have to set it. And it is plus or minus 15 seconds per day, as opposed to a quartz type of movement, which goes 15 plus or minus per month. It's got the screw down crown. It's 200 meter water resistant, and if you pull it out on one side, one notch changes the date of the month, and going counterclockwise sets the day. The day goes back and forth between Latin and American, and very easy to set the time. There is a feature on these watches called back hacking, which means that if you move it back slightly, you can stop the seconds. So this way, if you wanted to set it up with a quartz type watch by the seconds, you can do so. I find it to be counterproductive. It doesn't hurt the watch. As far as I know, I haven't seen any complaints on doing this, but the only thing is that when the watch is set, I tend to find that the second hand moves quicker afterwards, so it doesn't really stay as accurate as you would hope. So the watch is not extremely large. It fits the wrist very nicely. I have 7.5-inch wrists, and as you can see, it fits pretty nicely. It's got a low enough profile where it's not ridiculously large. Does get looks though, because like I said, it is a very unique looking watch. I really like the detail on the bracelet. It's kind of like a gridiron design. It's pretty much all stainless steel with the exception of around the case. There is a plastic composite that's to protect the surroundings of the watch, I would say. And it is a Seiko 5, which is considered a beginner's diver. The Seiko 5 marketing back in the 70s, a gentleman came up with the idea, and it was basically having the 5 characteristics of automatic, water resistant, shock resistant, and displaying the day and the date. So that's all I could really pretty much say about this watch. Like I said, definitely unique looking. It's a very popular brand that I've been seeing on watch forums, and it seems to come from Japan. I haven't seen a lot of these in American released. So I hope I helped you if you're on the fence about purchasing one of these. I want to thank you very much for checking out my review, and thanks again.